Now while you're watching this video, please like, subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos, and share this video also. Thank you. Well, hello there, welcome back to my channel. Yes, so today we'll be looking at the subject, why doesn't Sabbatarians keep the other Sabbaths of the Old Testament? Why don't they keep the other Sabbaths of the Old Testament? That is what we want to look at today. Now, this was not a video that I intended to do, but I did say on Tuesday, my apologies for sending this video late, by the way. Just try to bear with me. I have to get better as time goes by, and I'm still trying to adjust my time and schedule so that I can be faithful with what I say I'm going to do. Tuesday is the day where I look at a topic or subject requested by one of my subscribers, right? Or look at a question that you may have. I can answer that question on this day, Tuesday. This day is dedicated for that. And because I said this day is dedicated for that, one of my, I don't know if this person is a subscriber to me, but this person comment on one of my videos. I think it's the video that talks about persons who are the main excuse that Sabbatarians use for breaking the Sabbath. Yes, that video. So this person named Child in Christ, you understand, commented and asked that I should talk about that. The fact that they don't keep the monthly and yearly Sabbaths and so on. Right? So I'm going to show you this person for yourself that you can see. You understand? So have a look at it. Yeah, so this is just my way of acknowledging. You understand that I saw your request and I'm fulfilling your request today on this video. So you are the person, Child in Christ, who inspired this video. It was not something that I planned, but you asked for it, and I thought in my mind, what could I talk about where this is concerned, and it just came to my mind immediately. You understand? So shout out to Child in Christ for that. So yes, with that being said, let us have a look at it. Now, this is not my usual Bible study, so I don't think I need to pray in this one. I pray before, but I don't think I need to give a public prayer right now, because it's just a mere discussion. You understand? Just a mere discussion. Now, in the Bible, the Old Testament, apart from the 7-day weekly Sabbath, there are other Sabbaths which we find in Leviticus 23, and Leviticus chapter 25, and Leviticus 16. These are other Sabbaths. In Leviticus 23 verse 15, you find the 50-day Sabbath. Right? You find the 50-day Sabbath. Leviticus 23 verses 15 to 16, when it says, even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. Now let me read from verse 15. And it shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that he brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths. So 7 Sabbaths give you 49 days, right? So even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall he number 50 days, and he shall offer a meat offering unto the Lord. You understand? No, they don't keep that Sabbath. They don't keep that Sabbath, right? Then the other Sabbath that follows is the Sabbath and the blowing of trumpets. Leviticus 20. See Leviticus 23 verse 23 to 25, and you will see that the blowing of trumpets, that Sabbath, it occurs on the 7th month in the first day of the month. You understand? They don't keep that Sabbath, right? And then the other Sabbath mentioned is fall on the same 7th month, but this time on the 10th day rather than on the first day, with the blowing of trumpets. So this one fall on the 10th day. This is the Day of Atonement. You understand? You find this also in Leviticus chapter 16, verses 29 to 31. Yeah, you find 29 to 34. Right? Leviticus 16, Day of Atonement. So this is also in Leviticus 23. Apart from Leviticus 16 verses 29 to 34, it's also in Leviticus 23 verses 27 to 32. It's a Day of Atonement. You understand? They don't keep that. And ironically, Seventh-day Adventists teach that we are living in the time of atonement. No, I'm not talking other Sabbatarian groups. This is just for Seventh-day Adventists. They teach that we are still in the Day of Atonement because the atonement is not completed at the cross, which all Christendom teaches and believe, including their other fellow Sabbatarian groups. You understand? So they believe that the atonement is still going on now in heaven. You understand? And it is patterned off this. They will tell you that it's patterned off the atonement for in the Old Testament, how they used to do it and so forth. Christ serving as high priest. It's a shadow or a replica of what Christ is doing. You understand the atonement then? So if that's the case, they will even go as far as use these passages, that talks about the Day of Atonement. You'll find Ellen White even using it too, as well, in her teaching on the atonement. I'm going to try to find a quote, you understand, and put it in the comment section on Ellen White. You'll see her using Leviticus chapter 16. You understand? However, you are going to have to give me some time. I deleted the Ellen White app from off my phone. I'm going to try to download it back. So give me about 24 to 48 hours to post the Ellen White quote on that in the comment section for you. You understand? And you'll see it that she uses these texts, but she take them out of context. You understand? She use it, but she take them out of context because she doesn't talk about the part that says they mustn't do any work, She just splice out the few verses that says on this day, the Day of Atonement and so forth. But she leave out the part that says you ought not to do any work. Because if what they say is true, and they believe that atonement is still going on now, then they rightly shouldn't be working at all. They shouldn't go to college and so forth to better themselves and to get jobs and so forth. No. They should be like Elijah and depend on ravens to come and give them food and so forth, and depend on angels to come and build houses and so forth for them and feed them and etc. etc. Because they ought not to do any work on the Day of Atonement. You understand? I just add in that little part there for you. Now, the other one that we find comes from Leviticus 23 verse 33 to about 36, and this one falls on the 15th day of the 7th month. You understand? This is another Sabbath mentioned here. Feast of Tabernacles, but it's recognized as another Sabbath. It's a Sabbath as well. The Feast of Tabernacles, right? But they don't keep this one either. You understand? And then in verse 39 onwards, you find on the same 15th day, right? On the same 15th day. Sorry, it should be verse 33. What I just said before, it should be from verse 33 to 38. It doesn't stop at 36. It's 33 to 38, right? They don't keep that Sabbath. Now, the other Sabbath that falls on the same 15th day of the 7th month, you understand? They don't keep that one either, which says he shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. You understand? And on the first day is a Sabbath, and on the 8th day is a Sabbath. They don't keep those Sabbaths either. So you can read from verse 39 to about verse 34. You understand? And you'll realize that they do not keep those Sabbaths either. You understand? Now, what I want to point out with this Sabbath is that you know naturally that today is the 19th and it falls on a Monday. Right? The 19th next year is going to fall on a different day. You understand? So with them, the 7th month and the 15th day, if the 15th day, you understand, fall on a Sunday 1 year, then the next year it's going to fall on a different day. You understand? So with that being said, when they are going to keep the first day as a Sabbath and the 8 days as Sabbath, those days can naturally fall on any day of the week, and it's counted as a Sabbath. You understand? So when you find Seventh-day Adventists saying, and Sabbatarian groups say, oh, we're keeping the first day holy and it's pagan and all kind of foolishness, the Bible is telling you that the children of Israel, they would have kept first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth day before, even if it's once in their lifetime as a Sabbath. Because year by year, the cycle changes. So even if it so happen that the 8th day, right, mentioned here, actually falls on the 7th day weekly Sabbath, right? Then the first day would have fall, it wouldn't fall, or let's say the first day fall on the Sabbath, the weekly Sabbath. The 8th day would have naturally fall on the first day of the week, which would be a Sunday. You understand? So this is what I'm saying, that the argument that they use that we shouldn't keep Sunday holy and all kind of stuff, it's a sin. It cannot be, because the children of Israel would have kept it holy before. You understand? And apart from that too, we don't keep Sunday holy, as I've stressed before. I don't know any Sunday worshipper who keep Sunday holy no more than Sabbatarians that keep Saturday holy, because they don't keep it holy either. At least the only difference with us, we don't say we are keeping it, unlike them that say they are keeping it and in reality they don't keep it. You understand what I'm saying? In reality they don't keep it. I can post a video, you understand, in the link where I show you that Sabbath, where I talk about that, the fact that Sabbatarians don't keep the Sabbath holy. I have 2 videos that I'm going to post in the comment section for you to check out. They don't keep it. But that isn't the point, of this video. I just felt like throwing that out while we're talking about it. What are the reasons now why they don't keep those other Sabbaths? Right? I'm going to show you all the reasons and why none of them can stand. If you read the verses that I would have pointed out, right, where the other Sabbaths are concerned, you will see that for the most part, they do ritual, they offer sacrifice and so forth on it. You understand? And they may say to you, because they offer sacrifices and certain ritual stuff on those Sabbaths, that alone should say to you that those Sabbaths are ritual Sabbath. But the 7-day Sabbath is the moral Sabbath, and the rest are ritual, because they say the Sabbath is a moral law. I have a video where I show that the Sabbath isn't a moral law. I'll post it in the comment section, right? And apart from that, right, that argument can't work, because even the weekly Sabbath, they offered sacrifices on the weekly Sabbath too. So if by their reckoning that any rituals offered on any of the Sabbath automatically makes it a ritual law, then the fact that sacrifices are offered on the weekly Sabbath, that should also, consistency would also demand that be a ritual Sabbath as well. A ritual law as well, should say, by their very own standard. And that sacrifices are offered on the weekly Sabbath. Look on the screen and I'll show you the text that shows that. Numbers chapter 28 verses 9 to 10. You understand? And then what else now? What are the arguments that they could use? For not keeping the Sabbath. They'll say that, oh, those were written by Moses. You understand? And because those were written by Moses, then that means that that alone shows that those are ritual Sabbaths, while the weekly one given by God in the 10 Commandments, that one is moral Sabbath. Right? So whatever comes from Moses then, as far as I'm concerned, would be ritual. But that can't be true. Let me fix that. Whatever comes from Moses is of less significance as to what comes from God. Those are Moses' laws. You understand? The Ten Commandments is God's law. But here we find Moses saying, honor your mother and father. Even Christ said that Moses said to you to honor your mother and father. And whosoever curseth his mother and father shall be killed then, so to speak. Right? Moses said that, But they say that the Ten Commandments is God's law. But Christ say, Moses, you understand, give you that law. Right? So these distinction that they are making say, oh, that is God's law, and what was said by Moses is Moses' law. That is just straight up unbiblical. You understand? Whatever comes directly from the mouth of God is God's law, and whatever comes directly from the mouth of Moses is God's law as well. No law is Moses' law, because that would mean that if you break anything that Moses said, then by their reckoning, you sin against Moses. And you don't sin against Moses any one of those things that Moses says that you don't keep. You don't sin against Moses. You sin against God. But it is called Moses' law simply because the law was given through Moses. He was the mediator of it, the mediator of the covenant. You understand? And that is why it is called the law of Moses. So that line of reasoning for them not keeping the other Sabbaths, if that's what they want to say, because it comes from Moses, it cannot work. Because then you're going to have to throw away several other stuff that come from Moses. You understand? One of which, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. They'll have to throw that through the window also. If they say that the Ten Commandments, because the Ten Commandments is greater and the Sabbath is in the Ten Commandments, that can't work either. Because based on biblical teaching, the Ten Commandments isn't actually the greatest law. The greatest laws is what I just mentioned. Love God and love yourself. Jesus said that, and they don't come from the Ten Commandments. You understand? So that line of reason can't work either. If they say that the Sabbath, it was before Sinai. You understand? So because of that, it takes precedence over those other Sabbath. The weekly Sabbath was before Sinai, so it takes precedence over those. That would be a fair enough argument, except for one thing, based on my video that I show you, I did before, where the Sabbath being a not the Sabbath being a ceremonial, one circumcision on the Sabbath. I show you how circumcision took precedence over it. And we know for a fact that circumcision is in the time of before Moses, in the time of Abraham. And they say the weekly Sabbath is before Abraham. You understand? So if circumcision takes precedence over it, that simply means that idea is false. Because if it was true, circumcision couldn't take precedence over it. As what I stated in my video, circumcision on the Sabbath. You understand? So that line of reasoning can't work either. Now they are left with one final thing to say. That Colossians says, because they said that the Sabbath mentioned in Colossians is the ritual Sabbath. All the other Sabbaths apart from the weekly Sabbath. Right? Now, based on my study on my 3-part series, you understand, on does Christian have to keep the Sabbath? I show you, you understand, that the Sabbath mentioned in Colossians is the weekly Sabbath. And I'm going to do another video on it. You understand, at least 2 more videos, right? One dedicated solely to Colossians, but a video that with mixing Colossians in it. And I'm going to show you that the Sabbath there is the weekly Sabbath. Just showing that argument can't work. And even if this is the final argument that they could use for keeping the weekly Sabbath and not keeping those. You understand? The Sabbath, the weekly Sabbath is before them. That is undisputed, that the weekly Sabbath is before those other Sabbaths. The only difference with Christians and Sabbatarians where that argument is concerned is when did the weekly Sabbath took place, or when was it given. We say at Sinai, they say before right at the end of creation then, or before Sinai. You understand? So that is what they say. But if we work at it giving at Sinai, it would have been the first Sabbath that we are introduced to at Sinai. So whichever route you take, one thing is clear, the weekly Sabbath is before those other Sabbaths. So that could probably be an argument that could work for them by saying it is of more importance. There's no way those you can compare it with those other Sabbaths. But guess what? Even that argument would still fail them. You understand? It would actually sink them into a further into a hole, and here's why. If I prove that the weekly Sabbath is what is mentioned in Colossians 2 verse 16, if that Sabbath is done away and taken to the cross, then it should follow that those lesser Sabbaths, then so to speak, those that came after, should have gone with it. You understand? So they would only dig themselves further into a hole if they acknowledge, if they say that, because the weekly Sabbath is before those other Sabbaths. Because then if I can prove that it is the Sabbath that is mentioned in Colossians 2 verse 16, then the other Sabbaths go with it. You understand what I'm saying? And that is the whole the thing with Christians and Sabbatarians. They just have it that those other Sabbaths are done away with and taken to the cross, but the weekly Sabbath still remain. They have no premise, you understand, to say that the weekly remains and those others are done away at the cross. Even if they say that it's because it is in the Ten Commandments, you understand, and that the Ten Commandments are still for Christian, that won't help them, because Scripture teaches clearly that we're no longer under the Ten Commandments, we're not under the law. Though they say the expression under the law means either under the condemnation or the law, you understand, which would be adding into the text, which is eisegesis, or they would say that we are not under the ritual law, you understand, which is also eisegesis, because it says the law. When it says you're not under the law, it's talking the entire unit. You understand, the entire unit, because the law is not a divided thing, as I've said several times over. You understand? So the reasons for keeping the weekly Sabbath and the reasons for not keeping the other Sabbaths are very weak. If you're going to keep the weekly Sabbath, then you should keep those other Sabbaths too as well. You understand? Because those other Sabbaths are an outgrowth, you understand, of the one weekly 7-day Sabbath. You understand? They all have the same meaning, ultimately rest. You understand? Rest. So they are an outgrowth, you understand, of that one Sabbath. The weekly Sabbath is the source and they are the channel. You understand? If you are going to keep the source, then you must keep the channel also, or the channels also. You understand? But you know their thing already, which is why I did a video dedicated called the law game. You understand? They pick, choose and refuse which law they want to keep and which law they want to reject. You understand? Sabbatarians, they choose which one they want to keep and which one they want to not keep. But as for us Christians, we recognize that we are not under the law, we are not under the old covenant, but rather a new covenant. And as such, this is what we embrace and this is what we hold to. You understand? With that being said, I end this video. I hope your questions have been answered. Right? Child in Christ, I did the video for you. Why Sabbatarians don't keep the other Sabbaths? There you have it. These are all the reasons why they don't keep the Sabbath. With that being said, bye bye now. You know what to do. Look forward for my another video tomorrow or the day after, by God's grace. Bye bye.